Okay, it's time. Let's talk about the dress. So I mentioned in my marriage and wedding Q&A video on my other channel that my wedding dress was the single most expensive thing at our wedding, which seems ridiculous, but it was entirely my choice and I love it. And I also said that I would make a whole video about the dress, not just showing you the dress, but also the process of getting the dress, because it was custom made. And that's kind of the exciting thing. That's why it was expensive, even though in the grand scheme of the price of wedding dresses, it was like a very good deal. You could get an off-the-rack wedding dress that you then get tailored for way more than what I paid for a design that was unique, that was original, that was something that like I wanted and I came up with and is made to fit me, and there is no other dress like it. But I didn't go into this whole process with the idea of, oh, I'm gonna have a custom made wedding dress. That is not where I started at all. So by the time you're seeing this video, one, I will already be married, fingers crossed, if we're allowed to, if nothing changes between now and then. And if that is the case, then two, you will already have seen pictures of my wedding dress on my Instagram. But this video is going to be a bit more of a closer look and behind the scenes of the making of the dress. The first part of this video is literally just going to be me talking to you. And then I will have lots of photos of the process. And then at the end, I'll also show lots of photos and maybe little video clips of the wedding day. Me right now don't know what those clips are, don't know what those photos are, but maybe we can have a little moment at the end where you see the dress in all of its glory on the day, and also maybe insert a clip at the end of me talking about how comfortable it was to wear all day and the toilet issue, which I will talk about, but future Hannah will have a better idea of how those things worked out. But this part of the video is purely like how, why, what, how much, and all of those questions. So going into getting married, the one thing that I knew was that I didn't want a white or ivory dress. I was not interested in that at all. But I still wanted to look a bit like a princess. I still wanted to have a bridal gown of sorts. I wanted to look like a bride. I wanted it to look like it was my wedding day without wearing a white dress. And I love the color yellow, and it just felt very me to go for a yellow wedding dress. Other options I actually was playing with at the beginning was going for like a purple or a blue dress, and then like having sunflowers as my bouquet because I like the contrast of those colors. But went down that avenue for a little bit, but then settled on yellow. And the other thing that I knew was that I wanted like a 1950s knee length situation. I wanted it to come in at the waist and then go out and have a big skirt. Because of my body shape and because of my height, I just felt like that would be the dress type that would suit me best. And also it's just one that aesthetically I just really, really love. And I just think is super fun. And I wanted to be able to like spin around and it all just go around me. So initially I just started looking online for dresses. I went on many bridal websites. I went on many just like normal, regular websites. I was very happy with like finding a high street dress that like ticked all of my boxes that maybe cost like less than £100. Like I was like totally in for going down that route. But then I was also really open to spending more money if, there was like the perfect dress situation. But as I was looking online, as I was adding inspiration to my Pinterest board, I was like looking up like yellow wedding dresses, retro 1950s wedding dresses. I was like following different hashtags on Instagram to like get inspiration. It was difficult. Like not only the shape that I wanted, but the color that I wanted. Like you could sometimes find like pink or red wedding dresses, but yellow, and not even wedding dresses. Like I was looking on some websites that do just like fancy formal wear or like party outfits, and just yellow is not a popular color. Like it was so hard to find yellow dresses. Also, I completely forgot that I tried on another dress. This one was from Needle and Thread and it was around £400, but unfortunately it just did not work on my short ass little body. The dress was gorgeous. I was obsessed with this dress. I think I tried it on a full year before the actual wedding. But yeah, it just did not work in terms of the length, but just also in terms of the fit around my shoulders, boobs, and back. It just didn't work, which was a shame. But yeah, I completely forgot that that was also a dress that I tried on. It was just so long ago. So long ago. I don't think I have a picture of it because I maybe deleted it, but I did order a dress from a website that has like more like retro vibes, and this one was either purple or blue. It was when I was kind of in that mindset, and I tried it on, and that was the moment when I realized that finding something off the shelf was just not going to work for me. Not going to work for me in terms of the design that I had in my head that I wanted, but then also in terms of my body shape and size. The dress that I tried on was like beautiful color, beautiful style, but it just swamped me. It was so big, and the way that it was hemmed, it would have been like impossible to turn up and make any shorter. And I was just like, is it going to be worth it buying a cheaper dress that just like doesn't work? And because my needs are so specific in terms of design and like shape size, I was like, maybe I need to go down the custom route. And this was when I started looking around and being like, how the fuck do you start with figuring out how to get a custom dress? Who do you get one from? How much are they? Oh my goodness. A friend of mine had gotten married recently and I absolutely adored her dress, and she said it was custom made, and I looked up the person who had done it and they were so expensive and still very bridal. Like all of the ones that were on their website as part of their gallery were all like white and ivory, and I was just like, this is probably not gonna work. And I think the ones that she had like for sale on her site were like thousands of pounds, maybe like under £5,000, but I was not willing to spend that much money. And then it was a conversation with my mother, and she is very pleased with herself that her suggestion worked, because Mama Witton loves being involved and loves being part of things. I think she's a 2 on the Enneagram. She's a 2 or a 7. Hard to tell. Basically, one of my mum's friends got married several years ago, and we all went to the wedding, and I remember loving her dress. And my mum's friend has a very similar body shape to me. She's another short Jewish woman, a short big-breasted Jewish woman. And her dress was white, but it also had these like multicolored polka dots, I think, on it as well. And it kind of like went in at the waist and went out. And I was talking with my mum about like really struggling to find a wedding dress, like not knowing where to go and like knowing that my body shape and size is just awkward. And she was like, oh, why don't you go where my friend went? And that was when I first learned that her dress was custom made by this woman whose business is based out of Birmingham. Her company is called the Couture Company, and her name is Jo. Shout out to Jo, amazing woman. And basically, I took one look at the website and was like, this is it. This is the one. I know that this woman can make the wedding dress of my dreams. I did not know how much it would cost, but she does free appointments where you can go in and basically try on a whole bunch of different dresses that are in her studio and see what you like and what you don't like. And then based off what you come up with, she gives you a quote. So the reason why I knew looking at this website that it was the one was that it was all like alternative brides, a lot of really retro 1950s styles, a lot of color, and it was just like perfect. I was like, oh, this is it. So I booked an appointment with her to go in for one of her like trying on fittings, like figuring out the style and everything of the dress. This was pre-lockdown, by the way, that I went for that first appointment. I don't know when it would have been, maybe like the end of 2019, I think. So went in, and unfortunately do not have any photos of this experience because you're not allowed to take photos during this time because all of the dresses that you're trying on are like her design. So I imagine that she just doesn't want people then like taking these pictures and like finding cheap alternatives or like maybe trying to make their own. I don't know. So I don't have any photos, unfortunately, of all of the crazy, wild, different dresses that I tried on. But basically it was like, oh, I like this shape, but what if we did it in this color? Oh, I like this kind of detail element on this dress. I like the way that this is cut. So I don't know. I tried on maybe like half a dozen different dresses and it was a lot of fun. Based off that appointment, we kind of like together came up with like things that were my ideas that I wanted, but then I didn't really know how to make a dress out of it in my head. I was just like, I like yellow 1950s, but other than that and the details, no clue. So it was really amazing to be able to try on all of these dresses and be like, I like that, I don't like that, and figuring out more of the details. And then Jo would be like, this is what's possible, this is what's not possible, and like, or here's a little thing that we could also do. And then she literally, at the end of the meeting, this was amazing, just sketched it. Just went, okay, so from what we talked about, like sketched the whole thing. And I was like, that's it. That's my dress. I will share a picture of the sketch. Boom. Here. So this is what I had to go off. And so when people for months were like, oh, what's your wedding dress going to be like? I was like, this. Like, this is all I had to show them. And then the original plan was that with a wedding in September, I would send measurements in May, and I would go for 3 fittings, one in June, one in July, and a final one in August. So around June time, Jo got back in touch. So I'd already paid the deposit by this point as well. So I'd paid for half of the dress. Oh, how much was the dress? Wow, I'm really jumping around here. So in my head, I was like, if it's over $2,000, I was not prepared to pay for it. Like in my head, that was like my upper limit. I was like, I don't think I can afford that. And honestly, I was expecting it to be quite high, especially because like you are getting a unique custom made dress. You are getting her like years worth of expertise. It is handmade in England. And like I said, it's just a unique design. Like it is your dress. There's no other dress like it. She came back to me with a price of around £1,400. And so I was just like, I am in. So that is how much my dress cost, if anyone is wondering. Let's reserve all of our judgments. If you think that is a lot, if you think that is like really not a lot, it's all going to be relative for lots of different people, but I just thought it would be useful to share that. So where were we? The fittings and coronavirus. Yes. So it was in June, I think, that Jo got back in touch with me because this was when the government started to announce easing of lockdown. And so Jo was able to plan to reopen. And so I sent her my measurements. I did them at home. And then mid-July, I went to Birmingham. I still wasn't like ready to get on public transport yet. So Dan drove me to Birmingham so that I could go for my first fitting. And my friend Lena came with me for this fitting because you have to have a chaperone with you because you need help like getting in and out of the dress basically. And we all wore masks, and I'd already like hung out with Lena inside, I think at that point. And she's a friend who lives closest to me distance-wise in London. So we'd spent the most time with each other during lockdown. And so I thought she would be like the safest person to be my chaperone. So the first fitting was actually not the dress. She had taken the measurements that I gave her. She knew what the shape and everything was going to be. And I don't even know what the material is called, but it was basically like a mock-up dress. It was like on a pattern. And so I put that on, and then she kind of like did lots of pinning and adjusting of everything around me. And I was like, oh, I'd quite like the neck lower, or I'd like the length a bit shorter. And so that was the first time kind of like being in like the body and the shape of the dress. And then a month later, I think it was around like mid-August, that I went for my second fitting, and this was the fitting with the dress. So in that month, she had basically taken all of the measurements and all of the pinning from that first mock-up and then translated it to the actual material. I'm getting very excited. So that was the first time that I actually got to see the dress, and I'd at this point been looking for shoes online, and so I brought with me 2 different pairs of shoes that I thought I'd want to wear with the dress, and I tried them on with it. And so then I was meant to go back a week later for my final fitting. Maybe there would be a few last minute adjustments and I would take the dress home with me. However, the day before, I got ill. I had corona symptoms, and literally that evening, I was like, Dan, we're going to get tested. And Dan has a car, luckily, and so we drove to one of the drive-in testing sites. We got tested, but that meant that we had to self-isolate until we got our results. And also, of course, I still had symptoms. Luckily, both of our tests were negative, but we got those test back results the evening, right before bed of the day that I was meant to go for my fitting. So I had to cancel my final fitting. And the wedding was close. Jo was going away on holiday, so she wasn't actually going to be in her studio for the next week and a half or so. And so I decided just to risk it and just hope that there were no further adjustments needed and get the dress couriered over to me in London. And I've never held my breath for 3 days before, but oh my God, I was so anxious about it not arriving, but it arrived. It arrived. At the time of me recording this, it arrived yesterday. So I'm like, thank God. We did it. It's here. I don't have to worry. I tried it on yesterday as well, and it fits perfectly. I love the length. I love the way it looks. I showed it to Dan because I don't care. I'd already seen him in the outfit that he'd bought for our wedding day as well, and so I thought it was only fair that he sees me in mine. And also, we're just going to be getting ready together and la 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 la, and I was very excited yesterday, and I just wanted him to see it. I was just like, look. Also, I needed his help doing me up in it, which is why I'm not actually going to be showing you in this video, because I actually can't get in and out of the dress by myself, and I'm currently home alone. Here is where we get onto the details. I don't know. I've not even talked about the details of the dress. What do you want to know? So the reason why I can't get into the dress by myself, I mean, this is very normal for wedding dresses, is because of the buttons on the back. So yeah, it's a mostly yellow dress, but I wanted a purple to yellow sunset buttons situation on the back, a little pop of color. But yeah, I cannot do those buttons up or undo them myself when I'm in the dress at all. And that's fine because people can help me. However, going to the toilet, and you might be thinking, oh, just hold all up that tulle, because it's mostly tulle. Hold up all of that tulle and the petticoat and everything over your head and just go to the toilet. I have a stoma bag. I need to be able to see, and I need to be able to use both hands. So what I'm thinking for on the day is that I'm literally going to have somebody take the entire thing off me and put it back on me every time I have to empty my stoma bag. Hannah from the future will insert a clip here and let us know how that actually went on the day. Okay, I got married. It happened. Look at that. Ooh, there we are. Right, but what we're here for is the dress update. So, the big news is that I could go to the toilet by myself. I already knew that I would be able to pee by myself, but I was also able to empty my stoma bag by myself without the petticoat. Obviously there's still a lot of material, but hoist it up, shove it to the side, doof, access to the stoma bag. But yes, so the buttons are one detail. So the dress is yellow tulle. It is knee length, but it comes down lower at the back, and underneath there is some orange tulle, so you can see the orange layer on the inside. She also made me a separate petticoat, so the petticoat can make it bigger, but then also if I wanted to wear it after the wedding for other occasions, I can make it a bit smaller so it's less poofy. Over the top of all of the yellow is a small polka dot ivory tulle mesh thing. I do not know the correct terms for things, but this basically goes over the entire dress, and there's like the yellow piece of fabric that is like my top half. I wanted straps because I wanted to wear a bra with straps on the day. I was not ready to be fucking with a strapless bra. No, thank you. And then the ivory polka dot thing comes over that and had like 3 quarter length sleeves. What else about the details? That's the main thing. Ooh, the other amazing little thing that she did in this dress, because I was just like, oh, I want the straps to be at least thick enough that they cover up my bra and, you know, like position themselves so that, you know, it's not moving around and you can't see my bra. And what she does, genius, why aren't all clothes like this? She adds little poppers to the dress straps so that you can like attach them and pop them around your bra strap. So then your bra and the dress strap are connected. They move together as one. And so you'll never have your bra poking out. Why aren't all dresses designed with this contraption? It cannot be that hard. Oh, and then the final little detail is a yellow belt, which I can like wear with it or don't have to. Like it's something that I can like pop off or pop on. Other than that, everything is in my future, whether or not the wedding actually goes ahead, how comfy the shoes are for an entire day, how comfy the dress is for an entire day, how I'm able to go to the toilet. All of these questions for me are yet to be answered, but maybe they've been answered for you now. Insert any extra clips here now of questions that have not been answered yet. So the dress on the day was amazing. It just spun beautifully, lots of twirling, and it was just comfortable all throughout the day. I could lift my arms up fully, like full movement of arms, which is what you want. The only thing I got really excited about, you know, the straps or the clippity-cloppy things that would keep my bra strap underneath the strap in the dress. However, they were placed like here, so I did them up and then they were digging into my collarbones and it was so uncomfortable. Like it was just like the weight of the dress on these like 2 hard plastic points just into my collarbone. So I had to just let it loose and just hope that my bra wasn't sticking up most of the time, which is fine. Just needed a bit of like rearranging every now and then, so it's not the end of the world. Those are my main updates, but I also realized I forgot to show you my shoes. Did I show the shoes? Honestly, I can't remember. But the shoes, so they're from Ruby Shoe. I just found them online. They have like polka dot on the inside, and they're more like a mustard yellow, I think. But yeah, they're a bit scuffed up now, obviously. Also, I've just realized that I still have a sticker on the bottom. Oh well. But holy shit, I stayed in these all night. Granted, my feet were killing me, but honestly, you know, any other pair of shoes, your feet hurt so much that you have no other choice but to take them off. But no, these were amazing. Like, what is that? Like maybe only like a 3-inch heel, and it's quite thick. And then obviously there's like a ton of padding, like it's padded in here. And so yeah, my feet were very happy in these. I feel like I need to address the bell thing. I got a lot of bell comparisons on Instagram and Twitter and stuff, and I get it. It's a big yellow Disney princess-esque like fluffy ball gown dress. I just wanted a yellow 1950s dress. I don't mind the bell comparisons. It's just a coincidence. And then the hair I did not even realize until like it was already done on the day. I was like, oh shit, I've also like accidentally done bell hair, like kind of. And then I did see a comment that was just like, oh, so cool, you had a Beauty and the Beast themed wedding. And I was like, no, we didn't. It wasn't a Beauty and the Beast themed wedding, but Dan was in blue, so I understand the comparisons, but it was an accident. But it's fine because Belle is like one of my favorite Disney princesses, and Beauty and the Beast, the animation, is one of my faves. So all good, all good. There's your updates. I'm exhausted. It's like 4 days later and I'm still exhausted. Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, wait. And then also, here's some photos and clips of me wearing the goddamn dress on my wedding day. Would you look at that? Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that princess. Oh, she getting married. Oh, she's a bride. Look at that yellow marshmallow lady. Look at her spinning around. Is that a 28-year-old bride or is it an 8-year-old child? Fucking hell. Well, thank you so much for watching this video and letting me just indulge myself and showing you my dress. But I also know that a lot of you were curious about it too and wanted to hear about it. So I hope this also like answered your questions about the whole process of getting a custom dress and all of the different obstacles and barriers faced in the times of COVID. Thank you for all of your wedding well wishes. I'm assuming you've wished me well. I am, fingers crossed, a married woman by the time this video is coming out. What a time. I love my dress. I hope I get to wear it again for something, anything. Although I'll have to make sure I'm only ever wearing it to events where I have a friend with me who is more than happy to get me in and out of it for a toilet break. Thank you for watching. I hope that you're well. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, bye, bye.